Alright, so today I'll be repairing the infamous cigarette lighter issue on Is300s. I already took it out. I actually got started before. This black piece right here should not come off, but as you can see, the adhesive is old and shit, it just popped off. Alright, so to take this assembly off, when it's on there, it would be like this, I think. You just pop this black piece off, it just comes off easily. Set that to the side. And there's usually a bulb here, but as you can see, this shit was busted, so the bulb wasn't in there. Now what you want to do next is remove this little nut. So this is where things get a little more interesting. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, don't mess with it. You remove the nut, right? Top piece comes off. And then there's a bottom piece, which is that right there. You remove all that. And there's a washer too. I didn't put it back on there just for the ease of the video, but make sure not to lose any of that. So you can see I have replacement parts down there. But then you'll be looking at this and you're like, well, how the hell did I remove that? Alright, so then this piece will try to come through, which it should, if it came out right. It's all twisted in there. You try to reposition it. If it's straight, it'll come out from the bottom. There you go. This piece will come out. Keep that. Now you'll be looking at this. Now, a lot of you try to push on these tabs, but you'll find that you can't push them in. And don't force them either, because man, it's brittle ass plastic. What you do is you basically, when it's on there, you're going to want to push this silver cylinder inward. I don't know if it'd want to come out. There you go. You push it inward, and it just starts to slide on through. So then you'll be left with this piece like that. So then now you could push in these tabs, and when you push these tabs in, they should come in, because it would push that green tab that's in there too. And this whole assembly will come out. Alright, so I'll put it back on there so you guys would see what it would look like if it were on there at one piece. So basically you push this tab in right here, either side, there's both on each side, and you push it in, and then you kind of work it outward, and there you go. Which, I mean, this right here, this would also come off too, so you got to push this through. Gotta work it from both sides. That also comes off. And it has a guide right here if you're gonna glue it back or whatever. That little piece right there, it goes right there. After I clean it up and stuff, I'll probably JB weld it, but that's how it goes. Alright, so if you guys want to know, I disassembled the other one I had, but it came with this one. As you can see, this one's not gonna work. This is basically the replacement for this ring right here, but this is from a different car. You see, it won't fit. Now, I've been looking online, and it's really expensive to get a replacement one. Which, I mean, if you look around, like I did, I went to the junkyard and tore a bunch of them apart. And everything is similar except this one ring off a, I think it's a 1998 to a 2002 Camry. I could be wrong, but if you disassemble it and you look at it carefully, you see all the parts are the same. Alright, assembly time. So you want to make sure you have your nut and your little washer. I got those. Now compare these parts. This is the broken one, so the bulb can't grab onto a damn thing right there, and this is the new one. Alright, so we got that. Now these are these other two parts. Now a lot of times too, when these parts get corroded, you won't have a good connection, and it'll also cause your lighter not to work. Which both of these look pretty good. I could use either or, don't really matter. So I got two of those. This is also another thing that gets dirty and causes it not to work. This one looks alright. Probably use that one because the one I had, I think, was kind of nasty at this point. Yeah, see, this car belonged to a smoker, so it has tar and shit in it. So I use all this stuff. Throw that out. Now this bulb right here, this is the bulb that goes in there that lights up the ring around your connector or whatever. It's burnt out. I already looked at it, and I've been trying to get one, but stores and shit don't sell it. It's something you have to get online somehow. But I'm gonna find a way around it, but for now I'm gonna just use this one. Now the last final part would be the cylinder. Which cylinder you want to use? This one's pretty clean. This one's kind of nasty, so I'll go with this one. It's nice and shiny. And no, there was one more part. This insert right here. This goes inside the white piece. Like that. Well, I could have used this one. This one was still pretty good too. And then the last piece, I guess, would be this one. And make sure, because the bulb also grabs onto that, make sure that's good. Which both of them are, so I could use whichever one. Alright, I'm going to start working faster around this thing because it's getting dark. You install it the same way you took it off. Kind of push her through. This should snap right in. There you go. Snapped in. The next part would be the cylinder. Stick that sucker in. Now it's important the way you stick it in. You want to stick the openings away from the tabs, which means like this. Just push her on through. Put the bottoms out. And it'll be looking like this. Alright. Alright, so the next piece is this piece right here. You want to feed it in the bottom. Make sure those little legs are sticking on those openings so they have room to expand. Stick it in like that. Alright, so next you throw that on there, like so. Get that other piece. Now, there's a little square in this piece. You can kind of see it. See that little square? You put that on the little square in that thing. Alright, like that. Alright, so you throw your washer on there, and then you throw your nut. Alright, so I did that off video a little bit. You want to tighten that, but hold everything when you're doing that so this doesn't rotate. Same with the bottom piece in there. You can barely see it now because it's getting dark. You don't want that to rotate. Hold it all together. Alright, so you can barely see now, but I slid the black sleeve on, which would be this one. You slide the black sleeve on, and then you're able to, you got to hold this together and then twist that on there, and you should be ready to go. That's all. Alright, so to prove that it works, there it is. The light ain't working, that little ring, but plug in my charger. There she is. Alright, so this bulb right here is the cigarette lighter thing, light bulb, the ring that lights it around for the Is300. This is the stock bulb. You can see it's burnt out. I desoldered it from these points right here, which would be these inside points right there. My solders are kind of nasty, but I put an LED in there because it's burnt out, and I plan to possibly put this on top of over that so it still glows green. And I had these right here, but these bulbs are too long. They'll stick out and it just won't sit right. Alright, so all I'm doing here is test fitting it, because if any of you know LEDs, you would know that they only go in a certain way. So let me hold that right there. And cut the lights on. There you go. So I know that it needs to go this way. I'm gonna plug that in that way into that plug and then throw it back on there. Alright, so I brought it back inside, set her in the piece, had to resolder it a little bit because it came undone, but that's the finished product. And I was wrong, this one you could turn it, so if it's 180 out, you could turn it at 180 and it'll still plug in, but that's with this plug specifically. And here's the little green thing, green condom. It slides right on over. Alright, here she is again. Let's go ahead and plug her in. Got a bunch of nasty tar down there because this used to be a smoker's car. Just like that, it just snaps in. And there you go. Now I'm about to throw it in there and see what it looks like. Alright, so I had plenty of replacements for this bulb right here. The one that goes in the little tray right here. Went ahead and replaced that. I only had blue covers for this one, so I put a blue one on for the hell of it. Don't really need it, but I just threw that on there. Yep. Alright, so I covered it up. See, maybe I could get some shade in here. It's not that bright. See that? So that's a ring, and here is the other light that will light up the tray. This little heavy thing. It should light up at least. That little crack. But that's how you replace the lighter and the bulbs in there. Alright, so here's what that ring looks like. Just got off of work, 7 a.m., 7:07. You see this light right here. It's some bright. I will be changing these bulbs, I meant. I was told that these bulbs in this thing right here are soldered in. Shouldn't be a big deal. I'm gonna try to tackle those. My key light, there should be a little ring around here too. I'm gonna get that fixed and probably get these lights taken care of. Got a check engine light, O2 sensor, whatever.